All right, just about 4:32 on our Thursday evening. Week's going pretty quickly here.
Yeah.
I'm 10 Tampa Bay Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins.
And I'm 10 Tampa Bay Meteorologist Colleen Campbell. And today is Bobby's birthday.
Oh, yes, it is. I did forget about that, yes. But I am old, so I can forget a lot of things. Yes, and working away, you know what I mean? There's no sleep on these birthdays anymore. We're talking actually some pretty headline type weather here coming in. We've got some showers and storms for the weekend. It's not a lot, all right? But it is kind of in the middle of the day, especially on Sunday, something for us to watch. And then we've got the cold, which we're talking feels like temperatures will start on Sunday. We'll be in the upper 80s to near 90 degrees. By Tuesday morning, in the low 30s. Those are the feels like temperatures. So a solid 50, almost 60 degree swing in what it feels like to you outside from Sunday to Tuesday morning. So that's a pretty big, big swing.
It's going to be a shock.
It is going to be a shock for us. So let's start with this. I wanted to show you now kind of a big headline of what we're talking about. We actually have weather impacts alert for both events. And what those are, that's our way here at 10 Tampa Bay of giving you a heads up about the weather. Doesn't necessarily mean severe storms, okay? But especially this time of year in the dry season, we don't see a lot. You walk out, you just expect it to be nice. Our job is to let you know where there's a bump in the road, and that's what we use weather impact alert for. The first one's going to be Sunday. A couple showers around will be on Saturday, but Sunday the rain chance is up to about 30%, and there could be a couple thunderstorms in there, and it looks like that will be around midday with the Bucks in town at 1 o'clock kickoff. So it could affect, especially if there's a thunderstorm, there could be a lightning issue that could delay the game. But either way, tailgating and even through the game, I'd be prepared for the small chance for some rain during the game, okay? So that's weather impact number one, but that is because of the cold front. And the air behind the cold front really starts coming in Sunday night and Monday. Monday's going to be a windy day, a chilly day, but Tuesday morning, near record cold temperatures. We're talking 30s and 40s. I don't think we'll set a record, but it's going to be close. And it's going to be windy at the same time. So wind chills are going to be at low 30s.
Yeah.
So,
definitely some weather that if anybody is a farmer or you have a little green thumb, you want to make sure you're protecting those plants, those crops, because this will be a shock to not only our systems, but our plants too, and our pets.
Yeah,
that's
pets,
very important. Monday night into Tuesday.
The plants thing is really if you have, sub-freezing temperatures. And I don't think, and there may be some spots, maybe in North Hernando and Northeast Citrus County. I don't think that's the major issue, especially when we're going to have the wind. So if you have wind and cold air, it keeps the temperatures from dropping all the way out. So I don't think this is really going to kill a lot of plants here. We're certainly going to remember taking the pets out on Tuesday morning. It's going to be cold. But this is just abnormally cold for this time of the year. Look at that dip in the jet stream. Polar vortex basically sinking southward, which means there's a big circle, there's a big ring around the North Pole. That polar vortex, it holds the cold air in there. Every now and then they get some kinks in that circular motion, and those kinks sink southward. That's what you're looking at right there, and that allows that cold air to pour southward. So, we're in Florida, we're complaining about 30s and 40s. It's going to be really cold in the Great Lakes and the Northeast. The snowmaking machines will get going right on the lakes there. They're going to have that. In fact, that starts probably Saturday for them and into Sunday. And then you can see as we get into Sunday and the Monday, it really dips to the south and the east. That's the coldest for us Monday night into Tuesday. And most areas here will not get out of the 60s for highs. So let's put this into perspective, right? It's not 30s for high temperatures, anything like that. And then, as typical for Florida, it lifts up pretty quickly, and we begin to warm things back up, especially even by Wednesday. I mean, Tuesday's gonna be chilly too, but Wednesday and Thursday already starting to get a little bit warmer. So, here are the temperature forecasts from the GFS, and it's been going pretty good for these 60s for Monday and Tuesday all week long. So you can see the cool down. Those are forecast high temperatures, but also notice at the top here. We should be around 81. It's probably going to be about 80 is the average by that time. So certainly almost 15 to 20 degrees below average for that time of the year. And then the overnight lows. Now remember, this is for Tampa.
Yeah. Some of our northern areas definitely colder.
Yeah, Tampa's a little bit warmer for forecast-wise because it's sitting closer to by the water. And if you're talking about inland Pasco, Hernando, and Citrus County, those areas are obviously going to be on the cooler side. So the further north you go, you're going to get that. Now, here are the forecast lows. Colin, you made this the other day, and a lot of these numbers are automated, but that record of 40 degrees was set back in 1892. And what's special about that number?
Correct. Yeah. So that's basically when we started keeping records in Tampa. Now, some areas are a little bit different. They kept records different years, but Tampa, that's as far back as our records go. So if we manage to break that record, which I don't think we will, I think we will come close in Tampa, that would break that long-standing record. But if we do switch over to weather 2, we went over these yesterday, but some of the record temperatures that are up for grabs across our area. In Brooksville, you guys could set a record. So you see that record set back in 1977 of 37 degrees. Right now, the forecast is 35. So, of course, if we get to 37, that would be a tie. If we did manage to hit 35, which I think that is possible in Brooksville, we could have a new record temperature. Not as long-standing as Tampa's back to 1892, but 1977, that's a good, 60-something years. So
yeah. Wow. I'm really impressed with the Brooksville number. And I'm not going to get this right, but 1977, I was in Maryland at the time, and I think that was a cold winter. I think it was a 2 or 3 foot snowstorm in that DC area in 77. And so a lot of folks are asking, this much cold this early in the season, does that mean we're going to have a cold winter? Well, we have La Nina right now. And usually during La Nina, it's warm and drier, right? Nothing like this. You can get these numbers, but you typically tend to get the coolest numbers in late January, early February. That's when we tend to get our freezes, especially in La Nina years. Okay, you stay warm, but you can still get freezing temperatures. The Farmer's Almanac happens to say that this winter is going to be cooler and wetter than normal, the opposite of what La Nina would tell us. So it's going to be very interesting. I will say the winds are going to start to pick up across the Indian Ocean. I know I'm getting off on a tangent here, but the westerly winds south of India are going to start to pick up. That's part of the La Nina. And if they pick up like it looks like they will, La Nina's days may be numbered. And we may be coming out of that sooner, and that would argue for a slightly cooler than average time for us here. Let's come back over to Weather 1, and I want to show you the winds, because when this front comes through Sunday night, by Monday morning, it's already going to be windy. So we haven't talked marine forecast yet, but just know that Sunday is okay if you want to take the boat out. Monday, Tuesday will not be.
Yeah.
This is 6 o'clock Sunday evening. That's 6 a.m. Monday morning. And so you can see the wind. So obviously it'll be less wind over land, but boy, oh boy, we're talking surf, guys. We are going to get some surf. That's going to kick up the surf through Monday. This is Monday at 5 p.m. It's really going to, we just put windy on there. We're talking 20 to 25 mile per hour winds. They'll be gusting to near 30 there at the beach itself. Meanwhile, teens for winds for inland locations and gusts in the 20s as we move through Monday afternoon. Now, here's the problem. The winds are coming down by Tuesday morning, 7 a.m., but that's when the coldest air gets there, and there's still some wind, right? And so look at this. These are the forecast wind chills. This is what it would feel like to you when you get on that morning walk first thing Tuesday morning. And that's to your skin, right, of course, because the wind is blowing the warm air along your skin away, and it's left with the cold air. And so it will feel like the lower to mid 30s across most of the area early in the morning. Now, as we get into Tuesday evening, 7 o'clock, you notice not as much winds. Watch the wind direction. It's out of the north right now. Watch what happens as we go through Tuesday into Wednesday afternoon. That's around 4 o'clock. You see that northeast wind there, east to northeast? Warms us right up.
Yep.
So, which is typical here for Florida. We do get cold snaps. They usually don't last very long. This one won't, and it'll already start to warm up. In fact, we're thinking Monday and Tuesday we had 60s, Colleen, right?
Yeah.
Low to mid 60s for highs.
The afternoons improve by Wednesday, Thursday. We'll be back to
70s.
Closer to normal.
Yeah.
Upper 70s.
Close to 70s. Okay. That's the cold snap. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about the warm and kind of muggy weather that we have in place right now.